Hello, students. Welcome to today's session on settlement of retiring or deceased partner. Now, the concept is like this, that whenever a partner, an existing partner from the firm is retiring or he is deceased, right? So obviously, whatever he has earned during this period has to be honestly given to him by the existing partners. For this, the various types of settlements are required. Now, what all settlements are required at this point? That his share of profit should be given, his interest on capital should be given to him. In case if any drawings are there on his part or an interest on drawing is there, then that should be taken from this partner. Apart from this, whatever is his share in goodwill also has to be given. Right? Now, for this purpose, we require to pass certain uh, adjustment entries are needed to be passed for this purpose. Okay. So now we will be taking a question and doing. So let's take this question here. And it says there we have a balance sheet of three partners, Pratik, Rocky, and Kusha. As on March 31, 2020, the balance sheet looks like this. Now, Rocky died on June 30 to 2020. There is this important factor, in fact, which needs to be taken care of students. That is the basic difference between retirement and death in accounting entries. See, retirement is always planned. And therefore, if a partner wants to retire, he will say this to the remaining partners that by end of this accounting session, I will be retiring. Obviously, then the accounting treatment, everything will be done accordingly. But that does not cannot be planned, right? Therefore, in case of death, the all these things have to be calculated from the last accounting period, day of accounting period, last accounting period, till the time of the death of the partner. Right. So, uh, under the terms of partnership deed, now in case of death, the executor account is made. Why? Because that partner is not living at all to take his dues. So, who is going to take his dues? His executor, who could be an attorney, who could be his wife, his children, anybody who is taking care of all these things in his behalf. Uh, Amount is standing to the credit of partner's capital account, interest on capital at 5% annum, share of goodwill on the basis of twice the average of the past 3 years' profit, share of profit from the closing date of last financial year to the date of death on the basis of last year's profit. Profit for the year ending March 31, 2000. Okay. Uh, 2018, 19, and 2020 are 12,000, 16,000, and 14,000 respectively. Profits were shared in the ratio of the capital. Necessary journal entries need to be passed and Rocky's capital account to be prepared, which has to be rendered to the executor. All right. Let us start working on this solution. So the first thing that needs to be made is now, so the question is asking us to make journal account as well as the capital account. Let's start making with the journal. So now we are going to pass the journal entries. Okay. Okay. First thing first, that is amount standing to partners, credit of partners capital account. Partners capital account, that is this amount. Now this will be directly posted to partners capital account. We are not supposed to make any journal entry. Interest on capital at the rate of 5% per annum. Rocky's capital is 20,000. So let's find out now. Let's do some working notes, make working notes simultaneously. So first thing that we need to calculate is the interest on capital at the rate of 5%. Okay. This is 20,000 multiplied by 5 upon 12. And one more thing. Now, Rocky has died on June 30. So this interest on capital will be calculated for April, May, and June. That is 3 months only. So this would be 3 upon 12. Now, how much amount do we get here? Okay, so if we do this, the entire calculation comes to 250. So this is one thing. All right. Let us pass this entry for IOC. So interest on capital is to be debited interest on capital account will be debited from the form because we are making this journal entry, passing this journal entry from the perspective of the form. It is debit. Now let us see what all is to be debited and later on credited to partners account. Okay. When we talk about the next thing is that is share of goodwill on the basis of twice the average of past 3 years profit. All right. So now let's do the accounting for goodwill. Rocky's share of goodwill. And this says that goodwill has to be calculated uh, on the basis of twice the average of past 3 years profit. That is simple average profit method. Okay. Now, so let's do the goodwill calculation. That is average profit multiplied by 2 years, twice the average, 2 years purchase of goodwill. So multiplied by 2. Okay. Average profit will be what? So average profit is 12,000 plus 16,000 plus 14,000 divided by 3. And how much do we get here? Let's do this calculation very quickly. Okay. So this total is 42,000. This total calculation comes to 42,000 divided by 3. And this is how much? 14,000. Okay. Now, so here it will be goodwill of the firm will be now this 14,000 is the goodwill of the firm. Okay. Now from this goodwill of the firm, we are going to calculate Rocky's share of goodwill. Yeah. No, sorry. This is the average profit based of past 3 years. Now, so we will be calculating straight away goodwill of deceased partner. Yes. This would be 14,000 multiplied by, now goodwill will be given to him as per his share in the profit, as per his profit share. Okay, so profits are shared in the ratio of capital. Capital contributed is this, that is, the ratio profit share will be 3 is to 2 is to 2. His share becomes how much? 2 upon 7. Okay, so this is 2 upon 7 multiplied by, now, then for how much time period? That is April, May, and June. That is 3. 3 upon 2. Okay. So amount, if we calculate this, how much do we get? We get 1,000. This calculation is coming 1,000. Okay. Now, this amount will also be debited from firm's account. Okay. So, again, okay. In what way? Goodwill, please understand, as we all know, goodwill is always shared or provided to the sacrificing partner by the gaining partner in their sacrificing or gaining ratios. So obviously, we need to keep it aside. We are not going to take it here. Okay. Then we talk of, I think, 1 second. Let me, no, something is, okay, sorry. The share of goodwill is on the basis of twice the average, no? So this is the average profit. So before this, we need to find out goodwill. Sorry. So goodwill of the firm will be 14,000 multiplied by 2. That is 28,000. Yeah. So 28,000 is the goodwill amount. Now, basis this, we need to calculate this goodwill for Rocky, right? So, for Rocky's share in goodwill, now will be not this, but only this coming house. This should be 8,000 goodwill. Goodwill should be 8,000. Now, then the profit share. Then share of profit from the closing date of last financial year. Profit share now will be how much? It says that on the basis of last year's profit. Last year's profit is 14,000. So let us calculate his profit share now. Profit share is 14,000 multiplied by his profit share is now 2 upon 7. So 2 upon 7 for how many months? 3 upon 12. So this profit comes to 1,000. Now this profit will be debited again from the firm to and goes into his capital account. So since it is the case of a deceased partner, so profit will be shared from the account called profit and loss suspense account. So this is P&L suspense account, debit, that is 1,000. Okay. Okay. Now, what next has to be done? Then we have, let's see, yeah, we have general reserve. So what is this general reserve, students? General reserve is past accumulated profit. Okay. So this also will be distributed among the three partners in their profit sharing ratio. So again, Rakesh shared in general reserve will be how much? So let's calculate, do the calculation for general reserve as well. So this amount should be, let's do the calculation very quickly. It's coming 4571. This is, though this is coming in decimals. So after one, this is 0.4. So we will omit that. This is coming 4571. Now, so general reserve will be debited from this account, general reserve account only. Okay. So this is general reserve account debited 4571. Now all these account, this money to be credited to Rakesh's capital account. So now let's add up all these amounts together and find out how much money goes into, Rocky's capital account. Okay, this is 5821. This part has been taken care of. Now let's move to the next journal entry. That is, now goes the adjustment of goodwill. So how much goodwill we have just now calculated? We have calculated goodwill to be 8,000. As I said, 8,000 goodwill now will be given by the remaining two partners in their gaining ratios. So now let's find out the gaining ratio for the remaining two partners. So as we know that gaining ratio is, formula is, we have just now done new ratio minus old ratio. So using this formula only, now we will find the gaining ratio between the two partners, and the gaining ratio between the remaining two partners, that is Pratik and Kushal, comes to 9:4 or 3:2. This is 9:4 or 3:2. We are going to distribute this 8,000 in this ratio. Okay. So directly moving to journal entries. The journal entry would be, that is Pratik's capital account, Kushal's capital account debit to Rocky's capital account. Account. Okay. So in his account, entire 8,000 has to be deposited, which will be distributed in this ratio, that is 3:2 ratio, and the amount that comes in 4,800 and 3,200. So this is 4,800 and 3,200, and this way my goodwill is also calculated. Acha, one more thing, that is, now please don't forget to write the narration here. Okay. Now for this first journal entry, what should be the narration? That is being Rocky's share of profit, interest on capital, and his share on general reserve credited to Rocky's account. And what should be the uh, mm, uh, narration here? That is being goodwill adjusted to Pratik and Kushal's capital account in their gearing ratio. Remaining partners capital account in their gearing ratio. Okay. So these two things have been done. Now what next is left to be done now after this? Now uh, whatever was to be given has been given. Now the last part, since it's the partner is there, it says the entire thing has to be now credited to partner's executed account, right? So the last journal entry pending is now that is the entire amount to be sent to Rocky's executed account from his capital account. So this is Rocky's capital account debit to Rocky's executed account. And the total amount should be how much, guys? Okay, so let's find out the total amount, which has to be. So how much amounts to be given? That is this 20,000, 5,821, and 8,000. To be doubly sure, what we can do is now we can make Rocky's capital account and find out more. Okay, so now let's make Rocky's capital account. Okay, now first thing will be that will be entered is his capital, right? So we write it by balance brought down 20,000. Only. Right. The next thing would be then interest on capital. By interest on the account. Amount coming in is 250. Then by general reserve. Amount coming in is 4579. Then by P&L suspense account. amount coming in is 1,000. Okay. And then talk about goodwill. So, buying Pratik's capital account, 4,800. Then by Kushal's capital account, 2,200. Okay. I don't think we are left with anything else. And yes, we have done everything, right? Now we only need to add it up and balance the formula. So if we add all these together, how much do we get? We get 33,820. So let's write this figure, 33,821. 821, 33,821, and this amount. Now, had Rocky been alive and continue to be in the firm, this over here, what would have been written? We would have written to balance sheet. Had Rocky retired, we would have written to bank account. But since Rocky is deceased, right? So what are we going to write here? We will be writing to Rocky's executor account. To Rocky's executed account. Okay. And this is dated 1/4/20. Similarly, 1/4/20. Okay. Now we have this amount. So here we will be posting this amount only, 33,821 and 33,821. Okay. This is all about this topic, right? That is, and so that's all for today's session, students. I hope you all understood the topic. Keep practicing. I'll see you next time. If you have any doubts, please contact me through my Urban Group profile. Thank you.